Good day, and thank you for tuning in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. For all of our new listeners and viewers who are tuning in for the very first time, I'm Pastor Pope, and thank you for allowing us to come into your listening and viewing environment. We are here with you every Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, broadcasting live from the FijiWater.com sponsored studio, where you can discuss careers, finances, entrepreneurship. You can discuss marriage, divorce, raising children, blending families. You can discuss dating and relationships, whatever's in your heart, whatever's on your mind. God is concerned about that which concerns you. And that is the reason that we are here with you in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast every Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And as always, 3D is brought to you by Fiji Water, Earth's finest water. You may already know that Fiji water comes from Fiji. However, did you know that it is created by nature? It is untouched by man. It starts as a tropical rainfall which slowly filters through layers of volcanic rock, where the water collects in a natural, sustainable artesian aquifer, where it is bottled right at the source, free from human contact until you unscrew the blue cap. Fiji Water, Earth's finest water, will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you will save money at FijiWater.com. This is not just ordinary water. This is Earth's finest water at FijiWater.com. And for those of you who continue giving on the Give segment of our app at New Life-Delaware, and those of you that have made a weekly or monthly commitment to support the broadcast by giving on the contribution pages of our websites at NewLifeMinistriesInternational.com and NewLifeInternationalCDC.com, and those of you who use the QR code or the link that are provided on Facebook and YouTube, we thank all of you for your commitment and for your support as we fulfill our commitment to God to be here for you in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. I know we were a little delayed going live. There was a little delay today, and it was simply due to we're having some storm clouds in our areas, I guess, so the internet is a little delayed, but we are live now. I can clearly see that. I want to say to all of our listeners and viewers, thank you for staying tuned in and always being available to us and allowing us to come into your listening and viewing environment. I want to remind everyone we're Facebook Live, we're YouTube Live at Daily Divine Direction, and now we are in the process next month of celebrating our 1-year anniversary of being on the air of our internet radio station, WKAPFaith.com. That year has gone by very fast. There's so much to be done, and we are excited about all of you that are staying tuned in wherever you are across the U.S. and all of you around the globe. We see you in the analytics, so we know you're tuned in with us. Today we're making an announcement, and we are going to be running a promo during the month of March. And the way that this is going to work on our internet radio station, one of our listeners and viewers are going to receive a case of Fiji water from FijiWater.com. So we're going to have you do this. We're tying this in with our 3D Daily Divine Direction and our internet radio station, WKAPFaith.com. So you're going to do this every day. You're going to listen to the radio station. We encourage you to stay tuned in all the time, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. But at noon every day, the first 3 songs that are played from starting at 12 noon, you're going to write those songs down. And you're going to text on the T-Mobile caller text line at 267-992-1424. Those 3 songs that you hear every day at 12 p.m. We're not going to tell you what day we're going to select a listener and viewer, but you're going to text that information, what 3 songs that you've listened to, your name, starting at 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So, and this is only, we're going to do something later for our international viewers, listeners and viewers, but right now this is for our U.S. listeners and viewers. You're going to have the opportunity to win 1 case of Fiji water from FijiWater.com. And the way this is going to work is every day at 12 p.m., You're going to write down the first 3 songs that play from starting at 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. For those of you who are in the Midwest, you're an hour different, time difference from us. Those of you who are in mountain region time, you're 2 hours behind us. And for those of you that are on the West Coast, you're 3 hours behind us. So 12 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, the first 3 songs that are played each day. And you're going to text the T-Mobile caller text line at 267-992-1424. You're going to place your name in that text and your email address, because one of our listeners and viewers will be selected to receive a case during the month of March. At some point during the month of March, you will receive a text or an email indicating that you are going to be receiving a case of water from FijiWater.com. Now, the way this is going to work is we will then contact you once you have won the promotion, and we will have you send us your address, and we will make certain that you receive a case of Fiji water, Earth's finest water, from FijiWater.com. So starting tomorrow, not today, starting tomorrow, you're going to, at 12 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, write down the first 3 songs that you hear. And you're going to do that every day until a winner is announced. And we're not going to tell you what day the winner will be announced. You will hear it announced right here on Daily Divine Direction, on our Facebook and on our YouTube. So it won't be announced on the radio station. It will be announced on our Daily Divine Direction, Monday through Friday, from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And we will then reach out to you and let you know that we need your information so that you can receive a case of Earth's finest water. A taste of paradise will be delivered right to your front door from FijiWater.com. I'm going to address a communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you have been hurt so many times in your life. It is difficult for you to trust or to be open to others. However, you say you would enjoy having more people in your life. My question to that is why? And I'm going to tell you the reason that I say that is this. It's perfectly appropriate when, not because you're damaged, but because you have been hurt. So you understand, first of all, hurt people hurt people. So the people who hurt you had their own issues to deal with. But the reality is, however, that because you've had some life experiences, hurt comes from life experiences, it has become difficult for you to trust and to be open to others. The question you have to ask yourself is, how many people do you want in your life? Because when you have a lot of people in your life, there are too many personalities that you have to deal with. The more people, and this is for all of our listeners and viewers, the more people you have involved in your daily life, the more personalities you're going to find necessary to deal with. When you minimize the number of people who are active in your life, you can learn to navigate those personalities, you can learn to deal with those personalities, and you don't have to endure a lot of drama, you don't have to endure a lot of complications, you don't have to endure a lot of crisis. Because you have a select number of people in your life, and you're going to deal with those people, those personalities, and perhaps some of their problems. The more people, the more problems. If you are allowing a lot of people or opening yourself up to a lot of people, you are opening up yourself up to all, I'm going to use this analogy, to all their demons. You're opening yourself up to too many people that are then going to bring their life experiences, their life problems, their own personal demons into your personal environment. Why do you want more people in your life? What is it that you feel you're lacking that you need more people into your life? You've got to ask yourself that question. You got to ask yourself, why is it so important to have so many more people in your life? And when you determine that factor, you will determine you'll determine the reason that you feel it's important to have more people in your life. So what I will say to you is to examine that first. And then you really have to decide, and this is for all of our listeners and viewers, you really have to decide just how many people you want to deal with on a daily basis, or even on a weekly basis, even on a monthly basis. How many people do you want to deal with on a quarterly basis? How many people do you want to deal with throughout the year? You've got to ask yourself those questions because you want to limit the mental fatigue. I won't even call it the emotional fatigue. The mental fatigue of dealing with others. Because that is a fatigue of its own. That is an exhaustion factor of its own. See, here's the reality. In our own personal lives, we have certain things that we have been, first of all, assigned by God to deal with. And then secondly, we have decided to take on the responsibility. Mostly it's family, can be career, but responsibilities that we've determined that we are going to deal with. Now, the reality of that is anything beyond that, we have to say, okay, God, do you really want me to assume that responsibility? And secondly, once you ask God that question, because God will show himself to us. Even if he doesn't speak to you audibly, he will show himself to you in a way that there's certain things you won't have to deal with. You're not required to deal with them. It's not your responsibility to deal with them. God has already got those issues resolved. Now you have to say to yourself, how much more am I willing to take on? And why do I need to take it on? What is the outcome, the benefit of taking on additional responsibility? And the more people you allow in your personal space, the more you're going to have to make that decision. Because more people, more problems. So let's really examine what we're doing on a continuous basis. Do you really want to take on some of that responsibility? Because with that comes a lot of mental fatigue or mental exhaustion. Now, for our listener and viewer, you say you enjoy having more people in your life. Well, you don't really know that. You're only saying to yourself, it might be fun to have more people in my life. Well, it might not be fun to have more people in your life. And the question you have to ask yourself is, how is life for you right now? Are you at peace right now? If you're at peace right now, why would you want to disrupt your peace? By letting more people into your life. There are people that come into your life for a reason. There are people who come into your life for a season. And there are people who come into your life for a lifetime. They will always be there in your life. The people who are there for a season will drop off. The people who are there for a reason are going to get what they came for, and they're going to go. Sometimes the people who are with you for a season are with you for more than 4 seasons, meaning they may be with you for more than a year. They may be with you for more than 2 years. They may be with you for a period of time in your life. But if they're only seasonal people, they are only going to be there until that season comes to an end. The people that you want in your life are the people, let me rephrase that. The people that you want to remain in your life are the people who are lifers. They're there for a lifetime. They're going to always be part of your life until the day you die. They will be the people who will show up at your homegoing service when you go home to be with the Lord, and they will perhaps participate, but at very least they will be there to celebrate you. Those are lifers. Those are the people who are there with you for a lifetime. You've got to identify each of those categories and make sure that you don't add any more in than need to be there. Don't try to take reasonable people into a season that they don't belong in. And don't try to take your seasonal people into your lifetime. Limit the number of people that you include in your life and deal with those personalities, and don't add any additional personalities that you don't really find necessary to deal with. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. So if you're not currently a T-Mobile customer, you may call or text on the T-Mobile call or text line at 267-992-1424. We will move you into our queue so that you may become a T-Mobile customer and experience America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. Taxes and fees are included in your bill, and if you auto pay by attaching a credit card to your account, you will receive a discount on your monthly bill. At T-Mobile, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. So I'm going to remind everyone, in addition to our daily Divine Direction broadcast, we have various segments of the broadcast. And the first Thursday of the month, we will have with us Rebecca Booth, a licensed and registered dietitian and nutritionist. This coming Thursday, right here in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, BeccaTheDietitian.com will be with us to make certain that we are whole in our body, mind, and spirit, that we are complete individuals in our walk in this life. And so we look forward to having Becca with us, and I know a lot of you have questions for her. As you know, she always comes with a topic for all of us for the month that will allow us to enhance our health and wellness. So stay tuned for BeccaTheDietitian.com to be with us on Thursday right here in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. And this segment of the broadcast is brought to you by PorscheAmerica.com. If you are in the market for one of the finest high-performance automobiles ever manufactured, go to PorscheAmerica.com. You will virtually have the opportunity to build out the Porsche you desire to own. And if you are in our area, you can go to PorscheDelaware.com, ask to speak to Mike Didio, General Manager of PorscheDelaware.com. He will make certain that someone assists you in selecting the Porsche you desire to own. And if you currently own a Porsche and are just in need of service, go to PorscheDelaware.com. If you're in our area, ask to speak to Mike Adams, Service Manager. He will schedule an appointment for you, have someone pick up your vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner vehicle to you while your vehicle is being serviced, and return your vehicle to you when your service has been completed. So I want to say to everyone, starting tomorrow, you are going to write down the first 3 songs you hear on our internet radio station, WKAP, faith.com. You will write down the first 3 songs you hear starting at 12 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. When it is noon Eastern Daylight Time, you're going to write down the first 3 songs you hear. You're going to text or email. You're going to text on the T-Mobile caller text line at 267-992-1424. Or you can email me at newlifepastor@comcast.net. Either way, you're going to send the 3 songs that you hear, the first 3 songs you hear starting at 12 p.m. You're going to write those songs, the name of those songs down, and send them to me on the T-Mobile caller text line, 267-992-1424. And we are going to select a winner of the promo during the month of March. So you want to stay tuned in every day and write those songs down until a winner has been announced. We are not going to tell you what day we're going to select the winner, but a winner will be selected, and it will be based on, the winner will be based on the songs that you have written down. So we know that you're tuned in to our internet radio station, WKAPfaith.com. We want you to tune in 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. But this is a promo we are running with our sponsor, FijiWater.com. And then we will contact you when a winner has been selected to receive a case of Fiji water from FijiWater.com. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you are 35 years of age with a 19-year-old daughter and a 14-year-old daughter who are both really making some bad decisions. So let me begin with this. I do the math. So you're 35, you have a 19-year-old, which means you gave birth to a daughter at age 16. You also have a 14-year-old. So you gave birth to another child at age 21. And what has happened along the way is that from age 16, when you gave birth to the first one, you were still trying to navigate how to be a parent while being a teenager. That's the first thing. Then you had another child at 21. So you have a 14-year-old. And they're both girls. So let me just say this. The expectation of what you're going to go through with teenage daughters has to be, there's going to be some personality development, which isn't always going to be pleasant. Secondly, they're trying to navigate being teenage girls with a lot of different hormonal issues. And then on top of that, they've got to deal with the mean girl issues, because they're dealing with other teenage girls who also have personality development that has to be addressed. So there's a lot of dynamics going on. And then you're 35, not married, and you're trying to navigate two daughters who you have raised with the help of family members. You have raised to get to this point, and you're concerned about the decisions they're making. But the reality is you've allowed them to see too much. And so they consequently are perpetrating the same decisions. They're still dealing with adult issues when they're 19 and 14. So you got to know that in order for you to really get them to a place where they can navigate better decisions, you have to prepare them. You don't have to expose them. You don't have to expose them to what you do as a 35-year-old, so then they think, well, that's the way we do things. You've got to help them to understand what it's like at 19 and what it's like at 14. You've been there, done that. Now, you didn't really get to be 19 as the average 19-year-old got to be, because when you were 19, you had a 3-year-old child. But you don't need to raise them to be prepared to do that. You need to raise them to exceed beyond where you were at 19. Now you say they're making some bad decisions. Your 19-year-old is not pregnant. She's still living at home. She's now working. And you might want to encourage her to maybe look at going back to school. You know, I get it, she's working, but she can take some courses. And the 14-year-old, it's not your 19-year-old's responsibility to raise your 14-year-old. It's your responsibility to make sure your 14-year-old then begins to make some good decisions. Now you said in your communication you don't like the girls she's hanging out with. Well, you have to explain to her that she's got to choose her friends. You can't choose her friends for her. She's got to choose them. I feel like I'm repeating myself because I had this conversation with students this morning. You don't get to choose your parents, but you get to choose your friends. And you've got to decide the friends you're going to choose. Are they going to be people who are doing the right thing, or are they people who are going to be doing the wrong thing? But you also have to help her understand what's the right thing to do. So if you don't like the people she's hanging out with, you should have that conversation with her and ask her, can she choose other people to be around? Ask her why she chose them. What are they doing that inspired her to start hanging out with them? Have that conversation with them, because you know birds of a feather will flock together. So is she leading the pack or is she part of the pack? Why did she choose them? And once you have that conversation with her, you can get a better understanding on how to guide her, how to instruct her, how to give her direction. You can't use the same methods you used, because she'll tell you it's a different time that you're living in, but also at 16, you had a child. So what you want, and I understand this, you want them to make better decisions. And you want them to make better decisions than you made. I get it. I do. We all want that for our children. Part of that is going to require you to expose them to less of what the life you're living at 35, and help them to live a life that's conducive for a 19-year-old to be successful and a 14-year-old to be successful. That's what you're going to have to teach them, guide them, instruct them, help them to navigate their steps. And they'll begin making better decisions because they'll begin looking at the opportunity of life and make really good decisions. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by, today's Daily Divine Direction broadcast is brought to you as always by Fiji Water. A taste of paradise will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you'll save money at FijiWater.com. May God bless you today. May God keep his face turned towards you. May God give you peace that surpasses all understanding. Have a great day today. I look forward to being in your viewing environment tomorrow. Remember, we start the promo tomorrow. First 3 songs that you hear on our internet radio station, WKAPfaith.com, at 12 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Write down those songs. Make certain that you text them to me at 267-992-1424. We are going to select a winner of the promo who will receive, in the month of March, a case of Fiji Water.